pleasure to serve under your chairmanship and to follow the Honourable Member for North East Derbyshire. Now, I see apprenticeships as something that's quite exciting, actually. I think this is really quite an exciting opportunity and a chance to sort of put something right that's been long for an awful long time. And I know every political party talks about parity of esteem, and they feel often like words that we just trot out, and then you ask people, and what did your children do? And you'll find that lots of MPs' children actually went to university and didn't go anywhere near having an apprenticeship themselves. Now, I actually believe if we are serious about wanting to create parity of esteem, then we need to have parity of outcomes. And to have parity of outcomes, you need to have a really clear pathway. And that's what I want to focus my remarks on at the moment. Now, one solution to this parity of esteem is a brilliant one, is degree apprenticeships. Because with a degree apprenticeship, you can leave having done an apprenticeship as a degree and have exactly the same qualification as someone who went to university. So there we have our parity of outcomes. But what is the problem with this? The problem with this is those people who go and take their degree apprenticeships go and join a degree apprenticeship from having done what? No, not apprenticeships, A-levels. So we still haven't got that clear apprenticeship pathway. So we find that the people who are taking degree apprenticeships tend to be, from the ones that I've met and spoken to, people whose parents have the knowledge, who are maybe more from a middle-class sort of background, we'll just finish this point, middle-class background, who see the advantage of taking a degree apprenticeship, not perhaps the people we were aiming the policy at. Yes, I give way.
Thank you for giving way and doing so. Having been an apprentice in a previous life, I can tell you the value of an apprenticeship is not necessarily the way society see it today. Unless you have a degree, you're a nothing. And it's how we've interpreted it. Third level education, you must have a degree or you're just going to be a pleb. I honestly believe you must and we must put the emphasis back into an apprenticeship starting at 16 and a career pathway, which can give you a degree ultimately, as I have got through the course that I went, which ended up giving me that.
I thank the Honourable Member for that point, and I think he's just about to agree with me as I move onwards in my speech. So I'm talking about this parity of outcomes, but at the moment, as I said, the degree apprenticeship can only be achieved by having A-levels. So what we have to look at is how do we build that really clear apprenticeship pathway, such as that we see in Germany and places like that, where you can leave school at 16 and go and do a level 2 apprenticeship, which then takes you to a level 3 apprenticeship, which then takes you to a 4, and then if you wish, to go and do a degree level apprenticeship, because that's not the system that we have at the moment. And I'm sorry, this is where I do disagree with the Minister, who I normally always agree with. I find T-levels an unnecessary distraction in this whole of this measurement. Now, at the moment, we don't look badly on GCSEs and say, oh, GCSEs are nothing, because we see GCSEs as what they are. GCSEs are a tool for going through and getting your A-levels. A-levels are a tool for going through and getting your degree. But we dismiss level 2 apprenticeships because we see them as a nothing qualification, or a qualification that's not viewed that highly. And part of the reason we dismiss it is because we don't see level 2 apprenticeships as being the tool that gets you your level 3 apprenticeship, as the 3 then being the tool that gets you your 4. And we know, and certainly I include myself on this, people are ready for education at different points in their lives. And it may be this apprenticeship pathway model that I'm advocating now takes a lot longer than the traditional one of going through GCSEs, A-levels, and it maybe takes a lifetime, because it might be you do a level 2 apprenticeship and you work a couple of years, and you do a level 3 apprenticeship and you work another few years, then you do a 4, and so on, and you actually find it's taken 10 years, and then you end up with your degree apprenticeship right at the end of it. Now, we need that pathway, and we need it to be very, very clearly defined. Now, the Minister will be aware, because I've raised this before, Hull have recently got an example of this. Hull College and Hull University have worked together to create this for nursing, so you can have nursing degree apprenticeships. And what they've done is they've taken 16-year-olds and they've said to the 16-year-olds, you can come with us and start on a level 2 apprenticeship at Hull College, and if you pass that through, within 5 or 6 years, you're going to be a fully trained nurse with a degree in nursing from Hull University. And they've set that really clearly out for them, and they've been inundated with people wanting to apply for this. Now, why can we not look at creating that clarity for many other professions of saying to someone, look, you don't at 16 need to go and get GCSEs and get A-levels to go do a nursing degree. No, you can do the apprenticeship route instead. And actually, if you want to stop off the conveyor belt and just get a level 4 and be a healthcare assistant instead of being a nursing apprenticeship, then that's fine too, because you can pop back on that conveyor belt a bit later and go and get your nursing degree apprenticeship. And this is exactly what happens in Germany. In Germany, they talk about having no dead ends, because there's always an option to move forward if you want. Now, as a member of the Education Select Committee, we did a report into this, and we called this the Apprenticeship Ladder of Opportunity. And that's what we need to have clarified by government. And I have significant concerns that we have so many young people going to do a level 2 apprenticeship, and they get stuck there. They don't move forward. They don't progress. And the Sutton Trust have found this as well, this lack of progression between the different levels of apprenticeship. And I don't believe a level 2 apprenticeship is a full apprenticeship. It's a stepping stone, but it's not a full apprenticeship in its own right. Now, the Sutton Trust Chief Executive, and I'm going to give you a quote here, said about this clarity of pathways. He said, on the academic route, everything is signposted. You know the options and you get supported at the transition points. But in apprenticeships, there are a lot of dead ends. There are pitfalls. Sometimes it is a very confusing route. I think we just need to almost map out the steps. Now, the London South Bank University have also suggested that standards, quote, should include reference to the anticipated career trajectory of learners. We need that, and it needs to come from government. So some practical steps that the government could take to achieve this. I think the government needs to mandate the Institute for Apprenticeships to include clear paths to progression within apprenticeship standards. These paths should be linked to a system of progression maps created and promoted by both the Institute and government. That complete clarity in how do you go from a level 2 apprenticeship right the way through to a degree if you so wish. I think the government should also create a UCAS-style website to advertise higher-level apprenticeships so that apprenticeships working in small and medium-sized enterprises are not disadvantaged if their employer is not able to provide that higher-level apprenticeship. The government should be encouraging and promoting universities that have already established this clear apprenticeship pathway. And I think the government maybe should say something about doing a degree apprenticeship is not enough if everyone who starts your course has got A-levels. I want to see degree apprenticeships and people doing it who've come there through that apprenticeship route. Because no one is going to ask you when you have your degree at the end, was your degree an apprenticeship degree or was it an academic degree? They're just going to be pleased that you've got a degree. So if we want that parity of esteem, then please, government, more needs to be done to create that parity and clarity in pathways. Yeah.